Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Skyveggie here, and I'm back with a tips and tricks ask video in Call of War 1942. Now, in this series here, I want to focus on three of the infantry in the game. I want to talk about militia infantry, not motorized or mechanized infantry, but also commandos. So commandos and militia and regular infantry. I want to talk about them, the uses in the game, and which one I believe is the best. So, in this video, I'm going to start by focusing on militia. Now, militia, in my opinion, is the worst infantry in this game, and possibly one of the most useless units available to you. I have heard strong arguments about why militia is so good, and they all kind of orbit around the idea that it is cheap, quick and easy to produce, and doesn't take many resources to maintain. And while that is correct, you only need a barracks to produce infantry. To produce the militia type of infantry, and it doesn't take many resources at all to maintain it. Only 1575, which is nearly half what it takes to uphold infantry. It actually takes more resources to uphold than commandos, which require less manpower. So it isn't necessarily true that they're the easiest infantry type to uphold, but they are definitely the cheapest to make. If we have a look at how easy they are to make, it's roughly similar to infantry, but a little more cost effective. So, if we have a look at that, 250, 250, 1,500, 500. It's very similar to infantry, except a little less. It takes twice as much food to produce infantry, twice as much goods, a little more manpower, and a little more money. So they are definitely the cheapest to make. Commandos, they're the most expensive in my mind, purely because they take metal, they take iron. Well, yeah, iron and rare materials, and a little more money. They take less manpower, a little less goods, and less foods, but, militia is the cheapest to make, and because you can produce it out of just a barracks alone, it can be produced anywhere, and production can be started anywhere within a matter of minutes. And that is what the main argument for pro-militia people is. It can be produced anywhere, quickly, cost-effectively, and cheap. And while that is true, I personally don't use it. As you can see, I have 5 here, and that is because that is just stuff that's rebelled to me. If you have a look at my research, and I've been in here most of the videos so far, so you probably see I haven't got it researched because I don't use it. I believe it is useless. It's good in forest areas, and especially at max level 6. If we go in here and we have a look at level 6, well, all the levels have it, but it's easier to see at level 6. So there's 75% strength in forest areas. Its defense against infantry can be compared to regular infantry. So if you're going up against a lot of infantry and you happen to have level 6 militia, it is kind of just as good as regular infantry, which doesn't have that strength bonus. Although regular infantry is better against tanks, in a forest fortified area, militia definitely takes the cake. So militia also, just like infantry, they both have 15 hit points. I'm pretty sure commandos have 20, which is kind of another, they have 25, it's even better than I expected. Which is kind of another downfall is with infantry is militia and regular infantry have low hit points. And in combat, that has a huge effect. They can be knocked out of a fight very quickly. So why don't I like militia? Well, first things first is it's weak and it is slow, and that's really the only points I have to my argument. Because it is slow and it's weak, it can be targeted very easily by air. And at 15 kilometers per hour, this makes it, if I remember rightly, 5 or 10 kilometers slower than regular infantry. So if you're moving around on the battlefield and you need to be going places fast, it is not as effective. it takes longer to get anywhere, and if you have it grouped with other units, it can slow them down a lot, really, to be honest, which is why that this infantry has been separated from this infantry group here, as the militia just slows them down too much. So I've had the militia going on its own course, doing its own thing, keeping them separated. And to be honest, that is quite simply why I don't like militia. Sure, it is cost effective, it's easy to produce, it can be produced anywhere fairly quickly, but I don't believe it's worth the rare material, and I researched a lot to develop. Why develop militia when you can just use infantry? Infantry, it does take longer to develop, but I believe that regular infantry is worth it. It is worth getting regular infantry to using militia. So what is your opinion on the militia unit? I personally believe it is the worst of the three infantry types I'm going to talk about in this series. Well, what do you think? A lot of people do use militia for holding down areas that might revolt, but like I said, that's where I got all this militia from. So while it is, a lot of people do use it for that, I don't believe it is effective. What are your opinions? Post them in the comments below, and let's discuss militia.